Hi, thank you for joining me. Today I want to show you another little way to save money and also recycle some items to keep them out of the landfill. Now, as you may recognize these items here. Your plants normally come in these. These are a nice little 6-pack that your plants generally come in. I just save them and reuse them. Now this item I picked up from the dollar store. It was only $1. And what I did was, if you can see, there's a ton. I put 12, actually have transplanted 12 of these plants into it. This is lettuce. And what happened was, I got this lettuce here, which I transplanted into this larger size container. I also transplanted this one into this larger container. What happens is, the larger your container, the larger your plant will become, because it has more room to move around. And then this is another one, excuse me, that I transplanted into an even larger pot. Put it up here so you can see the size of the pot. Now all of these were transplanted at the same time. This pot, that pot, and that pot. And as you can see, the size difference. The smaller pot has this smaller one in there. And they grow according to the size of the pot. Now the reason I'm showing you that is because you may not have a lot of these large pots. And then that's where those little 6-pack trays come in at. Here. And then of course this little bin that you can pick up. Now the reason I did that is because these lettuces came from a hydroponic garden. So each of the lettuces they're about this big when I got them. And all you have to do is pluck off the leaves. It still had the bottoms to it. So all I did was plucked off the leaves and left the centerpiece, this centerpiece here, and then planted it. The bottom was just a little small cube, and I'll show you that in just a second. So this is what the lettuce was in, and I just transplanted the whole thing. This is from one that did not make it. It's just a really soft material that looks really like a sponge. But that came out of a hydroponic garden, so I just transplanted the entire thing inside the bucket. Now what I'm doing with these are, these little trays you can pick up. I know I've seen them online, as well as this tray, which this is a much larger tray. I'll show you what that looks like. That's a pretty large tray. And I have not been successful in starting my seeds in those, but others have. So what I did was, I bored out the middle. I bored out some sections so that the size would be consistent with this 6-pack. And I'm going to transplant them in these, that lettuce in these, so that I can grow them from there. And like I said, I'm going to see how big I can get these to grow. All you're going to do is, once you fill your space with the dirt, you just put a hole in there. I'm going to pull one of these up and slide it down in there, and then just cover it, and then we'll give it a nice little water. So I'm going to fill these with dirt. I want you to see this. I have a mixture here of dirt and peat moss or spamagnum, and I generally mix it 50-50. Sometimes I may add a little bit extra peat moss in it to help retain the moisture. I just fill that up, then just take a finger. If you have a stick, you can do that, but I'm going to take my finger and just poke a hole right in the center of it. You don't have to be perfect. It may move or shift a little bit. Just put your finger all the way down. I was fortunate enough to get some of the these pods from a friend. Mine don't grow so well in those seed things, whatever they call them. And then just set these down in there. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to set them down in there. And they will fit. It's about the size of your index finger. I give it a little pat, and it tends to cover it, most of it. Some of it I'm just going to add some extra dirt, just sprinkle it on the top. As they get watered, it may uncover the base of the plant. You can just add a little bit more dirt to the top, the potting mixture to the top. Now I'm going to water this. One extra thing that I have a mixture of plant food here, liquid plant food, so I'm just going to add a little to that. And I'm going to saturate this. It's not recommended that you place plant food on the leaves, but this plant food is okay to go on the leaves. And you don't want it on the roots where it will burn them. So that's it. That's all that's needed. You can stand them upright if you like. I just keep my eyes on them. Like I said, there's holes in the bottom. As you can see straight through there. There are holes in the bottom of this. So it will run off. Some of the soil will run out, as well as the liquid. This will work. They'll get a good size in this. And if need be, I'll replant them in something else. But as you saw, the pod that the other lettuce came in was this size. So we'll see how big these get. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.